Hey guys, so it is week 2 and we're back with a new book review. The book review for today is The Ministry of Time by Kathleen Bradley. And just off the bat, I really enjoyed this book. It was a phenomenal book. Straight off the bat, I'd give it about a 4 out of 5 stars, or if we're going by out of 10, I'd give it about an 8 out of 10. Very good book, very intriguing. Really love the story concept and highly recommend you guys check it out. First of all, this was probably one of the first times, not the first time, probably the second time I've read a book by a women author. I haven't read many books in my life, but the only other woman author whose book I've read was the Hunger Games series, and I really enjoyed the Hunger Games series. At the same time, I really enjoyed this book. I'm not much of a fan of first-person point of view, like being inside the person's head. I usually like to read a narrative like The Lord of the Rings and such like that. But this book was first person and I actually ended up enjoying it a lot. It gave very amazing context to a woman's point of view of storytelling and or different situations. Seeing how they perceive or depict certain things happening within the story, I also found very different than what we see in something like a male written story. The genre of this book is a spy thriller mixed with minor sci-fi mixed with romance. I wouldn't recommend this book to many guys, but I did really enjoy it. I wasn't gonna pick it up in the first place, but I just thought I'd give it a shot because one of my favorite YouTubers recommended it out because she also read it this month and I really enjoyed it. It's on sale at the moment if you're in Canada for about $25, so I highly recommend you go pick it up. It's the hardcover edition. But yeah, sci-fi mixed with romance, mixed with spy thriller. It was a bunch of things mixed up into one, and I really liked the combo, but I feel like it could have been a bit more, I guess, fair in all terms. Meaning, I really feel like they could have spent a lot more time on the spy thriller part or the sci-fi part instead of the romance part, but that's just me speaking as a guy.
I'm not a girl.
I did like the romance. It was probably about 60-70% romance, 20-30% spy thriller, and maybe 10-20% of sci-fi. The philosophy and psychology I really enjoyed in this book. The main character is living with this person from the 18th century, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken. And basically the story goes, they are bringing back a few people from the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th century into the 21st century, and they're trying to adapt them into our way of living and how we communicate and how we live life. And yeah, that's about it. Nothing too much to that story. I'm not gonna say too much either in case you guys want to watch it and it might spoil some few details here and there. While we're still on the psychology subject, I really liked how touch was a big sort of gravitational pull for the two main characters. I guess we don't really visualize it that well in real life because we're touching so many things, so many different people throughout the day. Handshakes, high five, hugs, kisses. Whereas in this book, they don't really touch as much in the first few months that they're together, and then slowly they start having more and more hand movements, some grasping here and there, and it really shows that they're evolving in their sort of a relationship with each other. Not necessarily a boyfriend-girlfriend type of relationship, but some relationship is forming throughout just touch and feeling and interacting with the other person. Diplomatic and political aspects of this book. So I found it very intriguing that the ministry in this book can just pull people out of their timeline. Yes, the people were about to die in their timeline, so it wouldn't make a difference in the history, but I still felt it was wrong to do that, if you can understand what I'm saying. I feel like a person should have their own judgment as to want to stay or not want to stay, whereas in this book, the 5 or 6 expats is what the people brought back from time are called. I feel like the 5 or 6 expats had no choice in either dying the way they were supposed to or being brought forward in time into the 21st century. And I found that very unfair and very politically upsetting that the ministry was just allowed to do this type of thing. I think in real life there would be a lot more repercussions to this than we read about in this book, but still a great read and I still enjoyed reading it. And I liked how I felt a certain way about everything that was happening, even what I'm explaining right now, like pulling somebody out of their timeline, no matter what the outcome was for them. Still feel like it was very unfair and untrue to human nature, and it's sort of playing God at the same time. Character design, I really liked in this book. Everybody had their own little different personalities. People are from different centuries. People are different ethnicities, and I just really enjoyed how everybody was written, and I really liked imagining how they were to be talking with each other in my head. This book is based in England. The main character is half Cambodian, half English. So she does have an English accent, but the mix with the rest of the characters. Vocabulary difficulty of this book, I'd probably, out of 10, it was probably like an 8 or 9. Especially at the beginning of the book, the first 4 or 5 chapters, I really struggled with a lot of words, a lot of big words here and there. But overall, like I said before when reviewing my week 1 book, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed learning new words here and there. I enjoyed searching them up in the dictionary and all that. And yeah, I always say don't get discouraged just because of big words in a book. I say attack it, research all you want, look it up in the dictionary all you want, and don't ever feel ashamed about it. And finally, I'm going to talk about the length of this book. It was about 330 pages. Not too long at all. It took me about a week and a half to finish. I was also working about 4 to 5 days a week, so depending on your work schedule, depending on how much you can read, it'll probably take you maybe 2 weeks. But yeah, 1 to 2 weeks. Really good book. I highly recommend it. The ending had me tearing up, I'm not even gonna lie.
Ha! What a baby.
It was very beautifully written, very intricate, very gut-wrenching. I don't even know what else I can say. You guys gotta read this book. I highly recommend it. Very good book. 4 out of 5 stars once again. Thank you guys so much for watching my weekly reviews. I am reading George Orwell's Animal Farm, so I will have a review out for that in about a week's time. But yeah guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a good night. Peace.